Hello everyone and welcome back to Coloring with Haley. It's time for my monthly completed pages for October, of course. And I did a lot of pages this month. In fact, I think I did 20 pages. And the reason I did 20 pages is you'll see that I colored a lot in the Easy Halloween book by Jade Summer. And it takes me about 30 minutes to finish a picture in that book. So you'll see why I did so many. But first, we've got our Whimsy Girls Celebrate the Holidays by Hannah Lynn, and I did the Halloween page in here. I think I did the more complicated version. Yeah, I did. I just did this here with the two girls in costume, and I've done the scarecrow like she has on face paint, but I did not do face paint for the cat girl. There is definitely some Posca marker on here. Let me think about where it is. Okay, it's definitely on her collar, like the ruffles on her collar. And I think there's some down here on the candy as well. And that might be it. Of course, their eyes. Yes, I think that is it. And then I will hold this up so you can see all of the glitter. There's glitter inside the pumpkins and on this little spider that's here on her shoulder. There we go. So you can see all of that. Let me see if this pumpkin, there we go, wants to shine. This was a fun one to do. I liked this Halloween picture a lot. I actually really like her Halloween pictures. And we have quite a few to do for Thanksgiving. There are a lot of Thanksgiving pictures in here, so you'll see that book in November. Next up, I got Coloring Heaven's Halloween special for this year, and unfortunately I only did one page in it because I didn't get around to get to do money in it. I was sick for a while there in October, and I kind of colored all of these pages kind of before I was sick. And this one has some more images that are a little bit more complicated. But I did Frankensteins Bride by Sarah Richter, or Richter. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. And I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. This is just with Ohuhu markers. There's a little bit of Posca paint around the lace here on her shirt. And there is a lot of glitter. It's on her necklace, her earrings, her rings, and the tiara that she's wearing. I thought about doing the whole mirror or frame here kind of in glitter as well, but it would take a lot to do the whole thing. If I had a glittery paint, then I probably would have done it. So I decided to just do it and just color it regular rather than doing it in glitter. But I am very happy with how this turned out. And this does have some Hannah Lynn Halloween pages in it too. Next, I did one out of Jade Summer's Chibi Horror. And I did the very first page. I did the Ghost Girl. This was a lot of fun. There is a lot of paint on this page. She is outlined all the way around with purple Posca pen, and the cracks in the glass back here are also purple. Well, actually I think they're dark blue, but they're a Posca pen. I usually just do what I consider to be the skin on the ghosts with the marker, but this page was kind of drawn weird, I guess. If you look at the cover here, you can see that the ghost sort of has this mist around it. And I think that the artist tried to do that for the page, but it didn't translate well. Let me show you an example on the uncolored one. There's a line all the way around the ghost, and in parts of the photo it ends up, like here for example, that line cuts off part of the actual image. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can tell what I'm talking about. See how the line around her hair, it cuts off part of the actual image here, and for example, it does it again down here with the dress. You can tell there's just a weird kind of line around it. And I think that was supposed to be the artist's idea of trying to capture that kind of smoky look on the cover. It just didn't translate well on the uncolored page. So what I did was I used the purple Posca paint and just filled in that line myself with the paint. And I actually do think it turned out really good. It kind of does give her, like, she's glowing almost. So I am happy with how it turned out, but it took me forever to do her in all of the paint outline. I was going to do the ruffles because I usually do, but I had already put so much paint on this page that I was like, eh, I don't want to do it. But her tears are a little glittery there. But yes, this took me forever, though I am very happy with how it turned out. it just looked awkward to me to leave that weird kind of line there that cuts everything off, so I had to fill it out. I did a page out of the Mystery Color Pets magazine. I did this while I was sick because I wanted to color, but I couldn't really handle looking down for very long, and so I could pick out a page from this, for example, and just do a couple of blocks at a time, a couple of spaces, you know. And so it's not great. It's not perfect by any means. Definitely some coloring outside the lines and everything here, but I just wanted to color at that point. I didn't really care what it looked like. But I did this dog here sticking its head out of the window, and this was all in, almost entirely in my little Staedtler fine liners, and then I think I used a couple of Sharpies, just because I didn't have enough browns, for example, I think. This looks a lot better on camera than it does up close and in person, but I think that all these pictures turn out this way. The further you are away from the picture, the more it looks like a whole picture rather than a bunch of little spaces that have been filled in with different colors, if that makes sense. It's like the further you are away, the lines sort of disappear and it looks like a whole image. So, here's that little dog. Let's next look at this here, if I can get it. There we go. This was one of the books that was Happy Mail this month. This was from Michelle for my birthday, and I colored a page in it basically the day I got this book. I had to color a page in it right away. This is Colored Caramel's Snags-a-Lotl Kawaii Axolotl book, and it's one of their newer books if you haven't seen it. And I did this axolotl here eating guacamole because I love guacamole. I love chips and dip. I think this turned out really, really cute. And I used my new Uniball Signo pins to do the white highlights all over the axolotl so that he would kind of turn out sort of shimmery and shiny the way an actual axolotl is because, you know, they're wet. But I'm very happy with how this turned out. I tried to kind of mimic the way this one on the front had been colored, and the same with the highlights because I wasn't really sure where to put them. There is, of course, some glitter on this page on his little bowl down there. But this was super cute, and I'm going to be coloring more in this book because I love coloring food, and this has just about everything ever you could want to eat in it. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. It was just kind of a quick page to do, too. They don't take, you know, a lot of effort. Next, let's look at a page that did not turn out so well. So, this is Hannah Land's Enchanted Halloween, and I bought this book, let's see, back whenever Joanna Basford put out her very first book, Secret Garden. I tried to get into adult coloring, and at that point I wasn't into it. I don't know why, because I'm definitely very into it now. And I had a few books from way back then, this being one of them. Is a very, very old book. And, it's like at some point between, oh gosh, whatever, 2015, 2016 to now, Amazon seemingly changed its Amazon paper because this feels nothing like the Amazon paper that you get in books that are printed nowadays. In fact, it's really smooth and almost glossy and definitely thinner. So I had a really hard time with the markers and especially my Posca paint on this. You can kind of see how splotchy that everything is because it just did not want to lay down very well. And if you look here, I tried to go over the glass here with Posca paint, and you can see that the paint really just did not want to cover up any of the black lines because the black lines on this are so glossy. It almost feels like the texture of the paper in Kira Snevo books, like the black lines do. I don't know, the ink is different, the paper itself is different, so it was very, I don't know, it's very weird and hard to color on. Even her face and just the little bit of shading I did on the trees is very splotchy, despite the fact that, you know, it was very little coloring, and I colored it fast enough to not be splotchy. So this one didn't turn out fantastic. Even the glitter gel pens just laid down on this really weird. And I'm going to show you where the glitter is. It's on the oil lamp there and on her outfit. I don't know. So I don't know if I'll continue to color in this, because this is one of the first pictures I've colored. I think I've colored one before. Or if I'll buy a new copy with the way Amazon paper is now. And maybe I'm just crazy, I don't know, maybe this book has just been sitting around for a long time or something, but to me it seems like it is very different. But again, it is very, very old, so I don't know, could just be that I'm crazy. So I did do a page out of 50 Autumn Miniatures by Camellia Angel Kova. I got her Halloween one and then ended up doing like a ton of pages in that. But this was a buddy color kind of back at the very beginning of the month with Ren Kelly, or maybe I did this at the very end of October and forgot to show it. You know, I don't really know. I know I did it with Ren Kelly, and I'll link her channel down below, and hers turned out really cute as well. But I cannot remember when I did this one. And this is the cover, right? Yeah, this one is the cover. This was done in markers, and I'm going to color more in this in November because I just sort of went crazy in the Halloween one, even though this has a couple of Halloween images in it. I just lost it with the new Halloween one. It was just really good. And there's no glitter on this one, so it's just pretty straightforward, and I used a little bit of gel pen on the apple so it gets shiny, but it did turn out really cute. Just a little bit of shading on this hedgehog. I do enjoy the fall colors a lot. I especially enjoy all of the mushrooms in this book. So I'm looking forward to coloring in it a little bit more. Next up, I have Creepy Kawaii. So at the end of the video for September, I said I was going to color a page in all of my Halloween books, and I started that. I started with Creepy Kawaii, and then I think on October 2nd or 3rd, Camellia Angel Kova's 50 Halloween Miniatures book went live, and I ordered it, and I was like, okay, I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll color just like a picture in that. But then I got it in, and I was like, ooh, I can't just color a picture in this book. I have to color a lot of pictures. So I scrapped the whole let's color in every Halloween book idea so that I could color a ton of pictures in that book over there, because I counted up, and I believe I have 15 or 16 Halloween books in total. And if I had colored a page out of every one, probably would have only had time to do 1 or 2 pictures in Camelia's book. So that's why I ended up just scrapping the idea, but this is the kind of remnants of that. I did do a page in here. I counted this as a Halloween book because it's creepy, you know. And I did this spider page. I made it like a little Black Widow spider. And I'm happy with how this turned out. I probably colored this like on October 1st, I think. And of course, lots of glitter on the heart there on the spider, because it just kind of sort of reminds me of a Black Widow, and I did a little bit of outlining on the spider, but I think I mostly kept it just on the spider itself. I didn't really do it on the little bats or the moons in the background. There is a little bit of glitter on the stars, but I don't know how well it'll show up since some of them are so small. You can kind of see it, especially the ones by its leg. But I won't talk about this picture too much because I know people don't like spiders. So we'll move on very quickly so you don't have to see the spider. Next up is my 2-in-1 Chippy Girls book. I have 2 months left to finish it, and I believe 6 pictures. No, that wouldn't be right. Would it be 4 pictures? Right. Yeah, it's 4 pictures left. I had 6 starting in October. So right on track to finish it up. Most of the pictures that I need to do are in the back, but I still had one in the front. I had this, I guess she's kind of meant to be like a celebrity or a model on the red carpet. She's arrived. This one was another picture that I just hadn't done yet because there were a lot of buildings in the background, and I say it every time. I just don't enjoy coloring buildings, like, at all. They're just kind of boring for me, and I do make them, like, realistic colors because I kind of want to do the girls realistically, you know. But she does have quite a bit of glitter on her outfit. This part around here on her dress is gold. Her bracelets are done in glitter. Her necklace, the beads on her bag, and her shoes are all done in glitter. And I can see it all kind of shining. This one was a rather simple image compared to the other one I did, so this one actually didn't take me really too long. I did use my new yellow Posca pen to do the little line there on the road. And I used the new gel pens to do the shiny stuff here, but I did use a Posca pen for outlining the clouds. But I am very happy with how this one turned out. I had just been putting it off because of all of the buildings. And then I think everyone already knows that my birthday was in October, and I had saved this page to do in October. This is the birthday page. And I used some of my favorite colors on it, purples and greens and dark reds, as I thought, why not? So, this has a lot of everything on it. There is glitter on the outfit, on her earrings, on the button. These sort of decoration things back here have glitter on them. The candle flames have glitter on them. The candles themselves are Milky Pop gel pens. There is paint on the cake. The light green here is Posca paint. The whipped cream has also been done in paint, and so has the drink and the ice cubes inside it. This was a rather detailed picture, and it took me a little while to do. But I will hold it up so that you can see all the glitter, and you can see the paint on like the cake and everything. I do think it turned out really nice, especially for how much paint I had to put on it, with the cake having so many sort of really fine details on it. It was a very nicely decorated cake. But yeah, this was my birthday page that I colored, because I didn't have any other birthday pages, I don't think, really anywhere. So we are so close to being finished with this book. I don't know yet what I'm going to color in November. I need to do this one with the salon, and I know I need to do the cover page right there, the fairy girl. And what else? The mermaid picture, and there's one more. What is it? Oh, there's like a model somewhere here in the back, isn't there? Or the princess, there we go. Those are the ones that I still need to do. So, I was also gifted by my parents my first Kira Shursniva Color by Colors book, and they got me Country Life because my mom thought this book was really, really cute. So I did color a picture in it already, and I can say that I really love this book. I am going to be getting more of her Colors by Colors books because these are really enjoyable to color in. Of course, I have my lights on, and these pages are the really shiny, different material ones, so they're super reflective, but if I hold it up a little bit, I think you can see it a lot easier. I just colored this with Sharpies plus a Cali Art marker for the skin tones, and I had a blast. I love the way the markers go down on this shiny type of paper, and they always dry just a little bit lighter than whatever the outline is, so they look really, really good. I went through this and kind of went to find a more fall-themed page, and I thought this one was a nice fall page with kind of all the root vegetables that are being grown. Plus, you know, they're wearing, like, long sleeves and everything, so it's fall-themed. I think there's another fall-themed page at the back that I'm going to do as a color-in chat in November. But yeah, this was so fun. And this had the whole color palette in it, and I can say that her color palette is the same as the one in Sun Life Drawings book, so if you think that they have a nice, easy color palette, this is the same really nice, easy color palette. And also, I like that the pages just aren't like white or black. They're different colors, and it sort of just makes your own image pop. But yeah, this was so much fun to color. Definitely going to be doing more in here. This is such a cute book. Okay, now we're getting to the two books that I did like a bunch of stuff in and went crazy. So, here is the Easy Halloween book. And let's just start right out. I did a bunch of food pictures because I was really enjoying the food pictures for some reason. The first few images I did, I just started out straight coloring, and then I started following the little grayscale they have as sort of a guide for shading. So you'll be able to tell what I did at the very beginning and what I did later. And I just straight colored these. I didn't put anything on them because I didn't feel like they really needed anything. So we have these Halloween cookies here, and I tried to do all the cookies in different colors. This one was kind of meant to be a chocolate cookie, but it looks a little bit more maybe like it's a little bit of a burnt cookie, but that's okay. And I'm trying to figure out where these flaps are. Okay. Then I did the donuts also, and I used some gel pen on these to make them pop just a little bit. And again, I tried to make it like all the donuts were different flavored donuts. And I did find, if you're struggling with not having any oranges, 32 and 33 in your Ohuhu markers. These two colors right here and here actually turn out pretty orange on paper if you have, like me, already used all your oranges and ran out. So let me try to feel around for what I think is next. Here we go. This is when I started doing the shading, and you can see I didn't color in the sky because I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to use a whole marker up on that. But this does have some glitter on it too. There is glitter in the windows. I alternated it. So maybe they're having a party in this haunted house. I don't know. A little ghost in the window. And I did this one in greens and purple because I feel like green and purple and then orange and black are kind of the Halloween colors for me. So I did this one and it turned out really good. I just used my Ohuhu markers on all of this and just following along with where the artist kind of put their own guide for shading. It turned out really nice, I think. And then next, this is one that I did early on, so I didn't do any of the shading on it. But I had to do the little dog that's going trick-or-treating, and I think he turned out so cute. I did the belly a lighter color, just because I think a lot of dogs kind of do have a lighter belly. And of course he has a yellow pumpkin here because I ran out of orange. There is a little bit of paint on the tennis ball, and I think that's it. No glitter or anything on here. I just sort of did him in like your classic red and blue superhero outfit. And then I think I've got, 2 pages. They're going to turn this way for 2 more food pages also, I think they are. I did the cupcakes, and this might have been the first one that I did the shading on, following their guide, and I thought it turned out really, really good. I even did it on the ghost here, and it just really made it pop, I think. So these are my cupcakes. And once again, I tried to do them different flavors, like we just have a regular vanilla cupcake, maybe a pumpkin spice, and then chocolate. And I know that I did one more just recently. I did the candy apples, and I really liked how the candy apples turned out. I also did a little bit of shading on them, and I used more gel pen on these. So I wanted to do all the apples in different colors and then in different flavors. So we have like a Granny Smith apple with your regular kind of red candy apple coating. I've never actually had the candy apple. I've had a caramel apple, so I have no idea what these even taste like. But I did use some white gel pen on the candy corn, and I realized that I forgot to color one of those right there. I forgot to color the yellow on that, so I'm going to have to go back and do that in just a minute. And then I did, this one had like 2 layers on it, so I thought kind of like chocolate and marshmallow with little caramel candy pieces on your regular old red apple. And then I did a yellow apple with caramel, and I made these little candy pieces M&Ms. They were just regular circle candy pieces, and I just used a white gel pen to write in the letter M, and they're not perfect, but you know, sometimes the printing on the M&Ms isn't perfect either exactly. But I am very happy with how this turned out. I don't know, I just really enjoyed coloring the food in particular in this book. And I don't think I'm going to be done with this book just quite yet. There are a couple of pictures, like for example, I've got this scarecrow here that I think are just sort of fall themed. For me, I start to go towards Christmas after Thanksgiving, so I may still do a couple of Halloween fall pages at the beginning of November. Not ready to put those up just quite yet. And then we have, of course, as I've already mentioned it several times in this video, the 50 Halloween miniatures by Camelia Angelkova. And I also have to figure out what order these are in. Okay, so we have the vulture. I think this may have been one of the first ones I colored, because as soon as I saw the vulture page, I knew I wanted to do it. And I'm actually going to zoom in because these are smaller pictures. There we go. Alright. So here's the vulture. I really liked the black background. I talked about in my flip through that mine had a printing error. There's sort of a white line here at the very end of the pages on some of them, not all of them, but it didn't bother me enough for me to feel like returning the book again and waiting for them to send me another one, so I just ignored it. So for this, I tried to use pencil to do a little bit of shading on the vulture, like for example the wings, you can see it there, the vulture's neck. And I did it on one more picture, I think, before I was like, I just prefer how the shading with the markers looks. But There's a lot of glitter. All of the stars and the moon have been done in glitter, so has the candle. Next, I have these little cats, and I did this for Michelle's Tag Cattober 2021. I had a hard time settling on what cat page to color because there are a lot of cat pages in this book. But ultimately, I picked this one. Something about it reminded me, I don't know, of like a vintage postcard or like a vintage ad that you might see. So I settled on this one. I did all my cats in different colors, shading and markers. I did this cat as a little calico cat back here. She does little black lines on her cats. Let me see if I can find an example for those of you that aren't exactly familiar with this book. Well, okay, you can see it in the bat's ears. These little black lines. I always go around and do those with a white gel pen, just because I think it looks better than having the little black lines there. So I've done that on their stomachs, their faces, their feet, their tails. It's kind of everywhere. And I know I smudged some right there on that cat's ear, but oh well. And then I decided to do this ghost in one of the new Posca paint colors that I got, which was dark blue, so I outlined that in the dark blue paint, which actually shows up really well on the black background. I was worried that it wouldn't show up too good. And then their little ruffled collars all have Posca paint in according colors, the purple, the pink, and the light green. And then they all have glitter gel pen also in the same colors, or these are dual metallic, so it's showing up as blue for both of them, but if I didn't have these lights over it, they would show up as purple and green. And then of course there's gel pen in the pumpkin too. I like doing the gel pen on the insides of the jack-o'-lanterns because it makes them look like they are lit up. Okay, and then I did this cute little dog that says trick or treat with the candy. This was also done all in markers. Really like how this one turned out. There's some gel pen highlights on some of the candy. I decided not to do it on the dog's face. I could have done that over with a paint pen and whited it out, but I don't know, it's a little lazy, and I was like, yeah, it looks okay already. And there is, of course, glitter on here too. Some of our candy down here at the bottom is glittery. This one down there. And then the bow here is, but it's not picking up as well. And then, of course, all of these stars on the little witch hat are also done in glitter. This is such a cute book. I had to do so many pages on it. Okay. This was the other one that I did the shading with pencil and decided, I liked the marker more. I did this little animal. I can't decide if I think it's supposed to be a bear or like a dog. Whatever it is, it was really cute, and it had on like a little demon costume. And I did the white over his face there. Did some on the apples and the pumpkin. And there is a lot of glitter on this one as well. The wings are in glitter, and then so are kind of the little stars in the background. I think that the pencil just doesn't show up as nicely as the marker, and I'm a little bit afraid to put down too much pressure because I'm the type of person that I really just kind of, you know, cram it in there. And then the sort of image on the back transfers to the image that's behind it, and so I'm like really afraid to color it too heavy. I just kind of try to do it light, but then it doesn't show up as nice, so I think I settled on preferring the markers. And then I did this on camera for a coloring tag on Halloween. I did this to look like my mom's little dog, and I really like how this one turned out as well. This one is super cute. I've done the ghosts again in paint. I just like to do a little bit of a shadow on the ghosts and then outline them in Posca paint rather than leave them white or something. That's how I like to do them, and I think they turn out really cute. I've done a pink ghost with my new pen color and a light blue ghost, and I've done some highlight right there, and I think I decided to go back in and do that after the video was finished. I can't remember if I did it on video or not. And of course, glitter on the little hat on the dog, the jack-o'-lantern face, and the stars once again. And all of these were done with my Ohuhu markers, of course. So, those are all of the books I colored in this month. Really not too many books. It was more like I did a bunch of pages in a few books. So I already counted and I know I did 20 pages. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed seeing my finished pages for this month. I know I really enjoy seeing everyone else's finished pages.